Across the Western world, churches are emptying, yet something quiet is beginning. While headlines say faith is fading, a generation raised in cynicism is quietly walking back into the light. They're not doing it for tradition or for approval. They're doing it because something deep inside of them refuses to die. This is the story of a movement that no one predicted, and that few even see. This is the silent revival of Gen Z. For 2 decades, surveys all told the same story. The nones were on the rise. Millions of young people claiming no religion at all. Sociologists called it the death of faith. But then, the numbers started to shift, quietly, almost imperceptibly at first. Baptisms began to rise, confessions returned. Young adults started filling pews, not because their parents made them, but because of a personal, deeply felt conviction. What on earth happened? How did a generation that wasn't supposed to believe start finding its way back? For many, it all began with exhaustion. The endless scrolling through social media feeds, the algorithm feeding them a constant diet of distraction, outrage, and an overwhelming sense of loneliness. They came to a stark realization. Beneath all the noise, all the likes, all the fleeting trends, there was nothing. The promises of self-help gurus, the allure of online fame, and the illusion of digital belonging couldn't fill the void inside. When life became a chaotic feed of contradictions, the soul began to search for something ancient, something real, something that wouldn't just vanish with the next update. And in that search, many stumbled upon a faith they thought was long gone. Across universities and cities, a remarkable trend is taking hold. Prayer groups are re-emerging. Latin masses, once considered a relic of the past, are now packed with young faces. Spiritual retreats are booked out months in advance. Young people are rediscovering ancient practices like confession, fasting, and even the profound discipline of monastic silence. But don't mistake this for simple nostalgia. It's a form of rebellion. They see a world obsessed with the self, and they are choosing transcendence. They see chaos, and they crave a divine order. They see a culture of relativism, and they hunger for absolute truth. To Gen Z, faith isn't an outdated institution anymore. It's an act of resistance. Ironically, the very internet that fueled so much disbelief has become the new missionary field. Short clips of priests explaining ancient complex theology are going viral. TikToks about the power of prayer are outperforming celebrity gossip. And behind this surprising trend is something deeper, genuine curiosity. A generation raised online, fluent in the language of pixels and memes, is now meeting God through their screens. And then they're leaving those screens behind to find Him in person, in community. The digital world, once seen only as a source of distraction, is now becoming the doorway that leads them back home. This revival isn't polished or perfect. In fact, it's raw, it's messy, and it's incredibly authentic. It's people showing up to worship in thrifted clothes with open, searching hearts. It's community being built around genuine connection, not curated images. It's young believers wrestling with profound doubts, but absolutely refusing to surrender to a life of meaninglessness. For the first time in decades, for many of them, faith isn't a cultural inheritance passed down from their grandparents. It's a conscious, deliberate choice. And that choice is being made by the very generation that was supposed to abandon it forever. Maybe this was always how it was meant to happen. Not through massive megachurches or slick marketing campaigns, but through the quiet, individual turning of hearts. When everything else the world had to offer failed to satisfy, the ancient call remained. A whisper beneath all the noise saying, "Come back." This isn't nostalgia, this isn't ideology, it's the beginning of something sacred. The silent revival has already begun, and you are living in its very first chapter. If you felt that pull, that sense that something greater is calling, share this video and subscribe for more stories uncovering the sacred threads hidden in our world.